client, and I'm gonna call her M. And she came to me about 18 months ago. Business, turning over really good sales. Kids, doing well. Relationship is good. She told me in that first conversation, I think I'm mostly fine. I just want to tighten a few things, make it run smoother. We were probably 20 minutes into our second call when she said something and then stopped herself and then said, I can't believe I have just said that out loud. I haven't said that to anyone. Building a business, and it's got no space in it for me. I think I've built myself a cage and called it a business. She was fine from the outside, completely indistinguishable from what you or I would call success. And at 11 p.m. in the quiet, she knew the truth. That's who this one's for. I want to introduce you to something that I think is going to make so many things click. It's called the Moxie Ascent, and it maps the actual journey, not the aspirational one, the real one that women like you and I running businesses while raising families move through. Because I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of women like you, and some patterns begin to show up. What we've figured out is that there are 4 different levels, 4 zones that we walk them all through. I'm going to walk you through all of them today, but I want to spend the most time on the one that I think most of you are in right now. Because if that's where you're at, it's the most important one to understand. It also can be the hardest one to see clearly when you're inside it. The first one is the red zone. This is the season where everything's on you. You feel like you're missing everything, not physically, but you're present in one place and mentally somewhere else. Physically at work, mentally worrying about the kid you dropped off at childcare that was crying when you left. Physically at the school concert, mentally answering that grumpy email from the client in your head, right? Missing everything, not ever present physically and mentally in the same place. You're worrying about everything being on you. This season is where your business totally relies on the effort you put in, and you're still hopeful that at some point you're going to get a return. You're in the hopeful hard work season. If I work hard enough for long enough, I hope somewhere in the future, I will get some sort of reward for this. We call this one the never-ending juggle. And this is a pretty hideous place to be. A bit like the never-ending story, the never-ending pile of laundry in the corner, because there's a big myth here. And this myth is what keeps women here way longer than they need to be. Right down here in the red zone, you're probably believing this myth. One day it will get better. One day it will magically get bigger and better because why? What's going to change? Generally, we fill that in with when the kids go to school, when the kids leave home, when they start sleeping through the night, when we finish this next project, when we do this next hire, when we move into the new premises, insert thing here. Business and life doesn't magically get better just because of the passing of time. And you get stuck down here because of one simple word. And it won't get better until you start making decisions. You start letting go of the need to say yes to everyone. Start letting go of that fear of saying no. And you start to learn how to start making decisions and start saying no to the things that aren't aligned. You recognize that getting out of the first zone, the red zone, and up into the amber zone, zone 2, it gets better because you start making decisions. It gets better because you've gone from believing that it will get better someday it will get better because, and finally understood the truth of the next level, which is my world can run without all of me. My business can run without all of me. My family can run without all of me. We get up into zone 2, into the amber zone, you've started to make some of those decisions. When we get to the amber zone, now in terms of our capacity, we're sacrificing self. Everything's happening, but it's landing all on you losing something of yourself, right? You've made some decisions, you're out of that never-ending juggle, out of the crisis, out of the survival mode, you're managing. But you're still sacrificing self. Everything's getting done, but you're sacrificing you. What do I mean by that? Well, the kids are everywhere they need to be, husband's got everything he needs, business is doing everything it wants, and so is the client. But it's sacrificing you because you're sacrificing your sleep or your lunch break or your day off or your weekend or your early night or your day out with the girls in order to make this happen. The business itself and the structure that you're operating inside is unreasonably fragile. It still needs you. It still completely depends on you. Still requires you for the questions, the answers, the complaints. All of that comes down on you. And you have dropped into this awful place we call the black hole. You're making more sales than you've ever made before. But at the end of the month, your bank account doesn't look like it. It has all come about because you've done everything you were told to do. You've made the hires, you've put the tech in, you've done everything. And you have recognized in this zone that your world can run without all of you, but barely and not for long. We call this one, where is it? Where is it, says the child, with the lost shoe yet again from the uniform that they take off in exactly the same place every week. Where is it, says the team member who actually wrote the file, saved it somewhere, has talked to you about it twice, and still is coming back for you for the information. Where is it, says the client, who hasn't actually provided you with the scope or the feedback that you require to go to the next level. And hubby is standing in front of the fridge looking for the freaking mayonnaise that has been on shelf 2 right next to the tomato sauce for the last 20 years that you've been married. Where is it? And while my world can run without all of me, it's without mayonnaise survival, and it's probably not going to be for long. Zone 4, I'm skipping one here. I'm going to come back to zone 3. Zone 4 is the real deal. In zone 4, your capacity is an easy flow. Your business strength, the enduring strength in your business, gives you true independence. You could walk out of here for 6 months and come back and it would be better than it was when you left. And in terms of the returns you're getting in the zone 4 and the real deal, you've got cash overflow. Now, the real deal, the woman that gets the real deal is not living in perfection. Like, it's not got any easier. There's no absence of hard seasons here. The problems didn't magically disappear when she got here. But at the real deal, at zone 4, at the dark green level, she is really fully living because she is actually inhabiting the life she designed with a business that works for that life rather than against it. And you might not identify as the real deal yet. Most of us don't. But I can guarantee you can name someone who is living it. You've watched her, you've seen her walk in a room, and you've thought, how does she do that? Guess what? She's not different from you. She's just built her structure differently. Now I want to go back to zone 3. This is what comes after where is it? After we've made choices, after we've got out of the never-ending juggle into where is it, we get across the middle of the journey and we find ourselves in this light green spot. And it is without question, the most dangerous of the four. For most of the women I work with, this is where they are when they find me. And this is not the worst place. It's not the worst by any stretch. Like, anyone that's got themselves here to zone 3 wouldn't want to go back to the never-ending juggle, or where is it? Who wants to be back in that place where you're like, where the hell did the money go? And who wants to be back on the place where if you stopped, everything else stopped? We don't want to go back there. And we do flip-flop between them. I bet you there's been times when you're like, I know, I was a never-ending juggle. And then you stopped saying yes to so many things and start let go of that said yes or even the assumed yes, and you moved up into where is it? Because you made some deliberate choices and you started recognizing that they don't need all of us. But then sometimes we say yes to a few more things and we slip back down into never-ending juggle. You might have flip-flopped backwards and forwards across that zone 1 and zone 2, the never-ending juggle to where is it? And when you finally get to this third zone, this is the zone where your capacity feels carefully balanced. That thing they told us to chase, balance. You're carefully balanced, which means you're 1 school holidays, 1 sick kid, 1 unexpected thing away from all the wheels coming off. And the myth right here is, I'm coping really well. The truth is though, coping is not the goal. I want to know for you. At 11 p.m, when the house is quiet, and you let yourself think the thought you don't usually let yourself think, which zone are you actually in? Because the work from here is different depending on the answer. And I'm not interested in giving you never-ending juggling advice when you're at picture perfect. I've watched that one fail way too many times. Next episode, we're going to go a little deeper into what it actually takes to move. But for today, just locate yourself. I've popped the link on this Moxie Ascent pyramid in the show notes. Have a look at it and see how it lands for you. It's time for Called It. How do you stop equating doing everything with being worthy? Practically. So on the outside, this looks like a great question. And someone would probably soften this up to say, you just got to change your mindset. Give you a little bit of a motivational speech. But that actually doesn't work. So this question is picture perfect in a nutshell. When the business depends entirely on you doing everything is the only available proof of your worth. The structural fix that exists to the identity issue is actually making yourself less load-bearing. You can't think your way out of this or affirm your way out of this. You actually have to build yourself out. If you want your worthiness to exist based on what you've created and the impact you make, then you've got to stop carrying the load. If your business, and dare I say, your kids and your partner and your household is entirely dependent on you carrying the load, it doesn't matter how good that looks on Instagram. You will not be able to soothe your nervous system to a point where it feels safe, where it feels like it's okay to be worthy just being. You can't think your way out of this. If you want your worthiness to be based on something else than doing everything, then you have to build the structure that will hold everything so you can spend your time being who you want to be. Dancing with your girlfriends, going out for lunch, having dinner with your mate, colouring with your kids. Actually being and fully living your life comes when your business has structure around it to hold so that the doing can be done by anyone. There is not one human being in any business that is irreplaceable. Not even us as the owner. I remember saying that to an employee once and he looked at me horrified. I was like, we love having you here. You're awesome and you're a great member of this team. There's no one here that's indispensable. And the problem is sometimes we think about ourselves as that indispensable employee. This place wouldn't run without me. Nobody works as hard as me. The truth is, it's not like that. You built it that way. You built your way into it. You're going to have to build your way out of it. This week, I'd love it if you noticed that 11 p.m. thought. The one that pops up when it's quiet, or maybe for you it's 2 a.m. We're not about fixing it or managing it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Just let it be data. Let it be information. Because we're going to go a little deeper. What's below the surface. And why the advice above it is always leaving you a little bit short. And this one's going to be the one that explains why the things you've tried so far haven't stuck. Till next time, stay Moxie.